Here we are, guys. Monster Motivator TV.
Monster Motivator TV, baby.
Here we go. My boy Rob CanDo. CanDo. That's his name, right?
CanDo, baby.
CanDo. Always figure out why you can do it versus why you can't. So I'm excited. Obviously, you can feel the energy. This is my boy Rob, and I was trying to get him on for a while. I know he's got a crazy schedule, but I wanted to share his story because it's going to relate to so many people out there. I mean, this guy started, born and raised in Compton. Now, if you don't know what Compton is, Compton's as rough as you're going to get in any inner city, right? So there's a lot of things that I want you to share, and we'll get into that, about what created you, what you got out of that, what you learned from it, how that created your foundation, good or bad, right?
Right on.
And then also, from there, Rob served our country in the Navy.
Baby.
Been an entrepreneur, has got a lot of balls in the air. He's got some amazing things going on now. So, Rob, here's what I want to do. I want you to introduce yourself, right? Well, I want you to tell everyone where it started, where you're at now, and where you see yourself going. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to pull some golden nuggets, right? Because I know you got plenty of them. And we're going to tie the message in because your story isn't about you. Your story is about the people that are going through what you went through, or the people that connect with your story, or the people that say, that's me, right. That's my kid, that's my son. So your story isn't about you. So we're going to tell everyone who you are, man.
That's why I'm so excited to be here. My name is Rob CanDo. As you know, I was born in South Central LA, Compton, California.
Now is that your birth given name?
Bird, baby.
Man, that's monster mode, brother.
That's who I am.
That's
right?
it, CanDo.
And what we grew up there. It was as crazy as it could have ever been, right? It was during the time of crack. Anybody know about crack? Rampart.
Just look, it's an inner city, man.
It was crazy out there. So literally, you lived to survive. That was really the basics to it. We grew up broke.
Yeah.
My mom, she had a really great job. She worked for the United States Post Office. Wow. She actually retired.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 sisters, 1 brother. One of my sisters is deceased.
But you grew up with her. So you
we grew up with her
in the house. You had how many humans in there? Huh? You can't even count.
Yeah, because I stayed with my auntie and my grandma and my cousins.
Listen,
all in one shot.
Like you said, it's survival.
It was
not
survival.
Thrival in the inner city.
Right.
And my background, I spent 17 years in some of the roughest cities, and it's a different world.
Yeah, it's a completely different world.
Right. Whether people want to acknowledge that, whether they want to say it out loud, it's a different world. And there's different rules.
Yeah, especially when you're a dreamer. Right?
Yes.
When you're a dreamer, a visionary,
you see something outside that.
Right, you feel it in you.
So here's what I want to know.
Talk about
Beautiful. I'm so glad you went there, brother. Knuckle that up. Because give us behind the curtain. When you're growing up as a little kid, you're seeing all the devastation. You're seeing all the craziness, right?
Right.
But is there something in you that's saying, I need to get out, but there's something else bigger. Did you have that?
Absolutely. I would go. Here's my.
That's great, man.
One of my favorite shows when I was a kid, was Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Oh.
You remember?
Right? I can still hear his voice.
Yeah, even to this day. I kid you not. I've must have seen every episode. I would say at least twice. Some of them I've seen repeatedly.
Just got the juices flowing.
Yeah, I was fascinated by it because they had this. You see them on there, and you see a face, and they have this lifestyle. I mean, it wasn't really, the stuff was fascinating because, we never seen it before, right? But it was, the way they felt, you could see it in their face, you could hear it in their voice, you could tell there was something different, about them.
Than what you've always experienced.
We were experiencing, right? And so naturally, I was attracted to it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I want to have a lifestyle.
So would you say that it was accurate to say that it started to create a belief?
Oh, absolutely.
That is possible?
Absolutely.
Because that's really where it starts, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're in that city and you don't believe there's nothing else.
You'll stay there.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, and you'll die there.
So that started to kind of set a seed.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And it spawned, and so of course you start talking about your life.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I'm gonna be, you know, an entrepreneur. I'm gonna have this great business. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna do all these different things that you're seeing, you know, from these programs that are feeding your mind. And then what let me know something was wrong was that when I got feedback, it offset what I was feeling. I'm excited,
Yeah,
you know, and they're like, hey, you know, it's gonna be tough because
You can't
know,
do this.
right? Because
Look where you're from.
The way you look, you
Right.
know, because you're black, because
Right.
you're from the, you know, you're from the hood, you know,
It's unheard of.
right. It's virtually just impossible, but God loves you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a disconnect here.
Yeah,
There's a
something's
disconnect.
not making sense with this, right?
Right.
So naturally, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going through my teenage years, and so finally, you know, I had an opportunity, you know, to go to college, you know, from high school, but I decided to go to the Navy instead because I just had to get out there. You know,
Let me ask you
see what
this.
was true.
Let's go back a little bit. Were you
Yeah.
able to? Were you able to? And if you were, how were you able to bypass the gangs? The gangs, because listen, that's
Mom.
like we talked about though.
Mom.
That's serious. That's
Mom.
okay. All right,
Mom.
now we get somewhere.
I love you, Mom.
Okay.
She saved my life.
So
Right.
that's your rock. That's your foundation.
Right.
Right. Well, give us some behind the curtains. How did Mom enhance and change your life for the better?
Okay. Looking back, you know, I didn't know what I was experiencing. I was just thinking that my mom was just being hard on me.
Right, like we all. Yeah,
Right.
like, man.
You can't hang out with those guys. You can't go any farther than here. You got to be back in before the street lights come on. You know,
It's the Gestapo.
right? Hey, you know, and when it came down, I didn't like confrontation. You know, so you know, I didn't like fighting. You know, or anything like that. She's like, hey, get out there. You know, and she's.
Yeah.
Handle it, you know.
Yeah.
So she brought that out
Fear
of me
barriers.
because- right?
She had you crush those fear barriers.
You either get with them or get with me.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
like, guess what? This is a much better deal, right?
Right.
So yeah, I was knocking them down, man, like dominoes because I was afraid. So even in the way of education, you know, I mean. I give myself credit where it's due. You know, I know I'm intelligent. I know I process information pretty fast, and you know I can pick up on things rather quickly. But that's not the reason why I did well in school. I did well in school because I was scared of her.
Right.
You know,
Right.
hey, come back with some B's.
Well, she had standards for you.
And she was not sacrificing on them.
And that's really what it boils down to. And it's that simple. See, your life is dictated upon the standards that you put on it. So
Absolutely.
the life that the neighborhood that you lived in, the standards were very low for the masses.
Yeah, for the masses.
But your mom wouldn't allow that to sink in,
she
right?
wouldn't
It's
allow
just
it.
there was no other option, right?
Yeah, it wasn't even up for discussion, question.
So she saved your life.
She saved my life.
She saved your life. You would have been in jail or dead.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Which is the same anyway.
Right.
In jail, just as great
Exactly.
being dead because
Exactly.
you're not, living out here.
No,
right?
yeah, exactly. It's
So
the same thing. So, so you did good in school. All
Did
right.
great in school,
Man.
and because of her being such a disciplinarian, it forced me to break free. You know,
All right.
and
All
leave,
right.
leave home and
So,
build my own.
Boosh kick you right out of the nest, man. Right?
Absolutely.
Hit those wings, baby. I don't want
she
to
was
see
telling me
that.
since I was like 13, 14 years old, hey, you know when you turn 18, you're getting out of the house. It's like,
But you know,
what's wrong with you?
But you
Right?
want to know something? That's the greatest gift a parent can give because she's building your self-image to become a reliable adult instead of that weak. That weak mentality. And I use this all the time, right? But it's so true.
It's very
Nature
true.
tells us this. The mom bird does not help the babies out of the shell because the mom bird knows instinctually that the strong survive, right?
Exactly.
So if you're mom and you're a parent out there and you're doing every single thing for your kid, if you die, what happens? Now you created a handicapped kid.
Boom.
You can say what you want, but that's the reality.
That's
That's
the reality.
the real.
Right?
That's
And
the
then
real.
That perpetuates.
And she's doing a reverse. Now,
Absolutely.
was she like that with all the siblings? Or she She ran the show?
she was on me like that. I mean, my experience, since I was the oldest.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
You know,
all right.
she adapted and,
Yeah,
you know.
they start to
revised
mellow.
it,
I was
right?
the youngest.
Yeah,
They
and
start
my
to
brother,
mellow.
he's 11 years younger than me, so he had it pretty light.
Yeah,
but
she was tired.
I sat back
She
and
was,
right?
She was just like, listen.
I'm like, bro, what? You don't even know. I said, hey, take advantage of this because me and this woman, we have a completely different.
But what a gift,
relationship.
though, man.
Yeah, it was a blessing.
Because it made you
Because
who
I
you
would have
are.
never survived. I would have never survived the Navy. I just wouldn't have survived life, period.
I got you. So that actually prepared you for the Navy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because we go, you know, think about it. You go from Compton, you know, and I graduated out in West Covina, but it was just as crazy out there as it was, you know, out there in Compton. But from there, I go straight into the Navy, and we're in Kuwait, you know, going through this madness. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Right?
What did I sign up for?
Right? So I thought what I was going through was bad. I really got to find out, you know, how fortunate I really was.
So let me ask you this: when you decided to go in the Navy, what made you make that decision?
Primarily to get out of my mom's house.
Okay, and create
create my own life.
And create a future.
Right. I wanted to be free. I wanted to call my own shots.
Was she supportive of that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And you know, and just find out what it is inside me that's got me, you know, that gets me pumped up when I have certain types of experience. What has me, you know, what is it about me that I want to know about? I wanted to know who I am.
Okay.
And be my own person. You know, my mom, she taught me what she knew, you know, in the way of, you know, get educated, which I did, went to college afterward and so forth. You know, you go and get a great, you know, career going and, you know, you're going to be good to go. Well, for her generation, it was a thing to do, right? But now we're in the information age. You know, it does. You know, the economy, the way business works today, it's completely different.
Yes.
So you can't rely on, you know, being at a place, you know,
30
40 years and get a Timex,
and a pension. It's so
not
true.
happening.
It's so
right?
true.
Forget about it. It's over. So if you're not creating, you know, your chances of, you know, making it to retirement, being able to live is virtually impossible.
Right.
You know, you can count yourself out because
great
Social Security,
such
whatever,
a great
forget
point,
about it.
right? And here's the thing, like you just said, you know, I'm a firm believer that not everyone has the DNA to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. But as long as you can identify that, because you know, Gary Vee says this all the time. He says, think about how great it is to be a number 2, number 10, number 8 person in Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Look, listen,
like,
you might not be the one that invented this, but if you're number 3 in Facebook, I think you're doing pretty well.
Right?
You're doing pretty well. So would you say that your own level of awareness is vital?
Absolutely. And so is everyone's. I mean, we're all a family, you know, and when you really,
the human race.
Exactly.
The human race.
And you know, my thing, I'm a patriot, man. I love my country. I love America.
Right.
You know, the only nation, you know, under
So
God,
grateful to be
indivisible,
here, right?
with liberty and justice. You know, for anybody that chooses it. You know, so you could come here, be born here, go through anything it is that you went through. You know, whether it was through your own hand or not, reinvent yourself. You know, and live the life that you desire.
And see, I love that because it's coming from someone that came from a tough neighborhood, right? With a tough background, right? In a tough society for
Very
you.
tough society.
For you. But you're saying that the excuses, life doesn't care. Life doesn't care if you agree with it. Life doesn't care if you're raised.
It's moving with you or without
that train's leaving. You jumping on or not, right?
Baby,
right?
And you know what? It's work, right? Let's face it. Just in the way of development, you know, changing the way that was a tough transition for me. Yeah. You know, and I think most inner city kids, you know, you've experienced it where you come to this point where I'm like, I gotta change the way I'm thinking about things. I gotta change the way I feel about things, and really change the way I'm doing some things. If I get pissed off at somebody, I just can't go
It just
pop them
because
anymore, or right,
right.
you know,
Absolutely.
if I want to create a legacy for my kids, if I want to, reap prosperity and joy and fulfillment,
And just move up in your life, whatever that is. You gotta, one of the people, and if you're not sure if it's real, what he's talking about, look around. So I use two examples, right? Number one is George Foreman. See, when George Foreman was back in the 60s, he was angry, he was nasty, he was mean, people didn't want to be around him. When he lost to Ali, it helped him, worst time of his life, but it helped him find himself, right? Rebuild himself. Now you can't get the smile off the guy, right? He just, I think he goes to sleep smiling.
Right?
It's
and
unbelievable.
He's doing any and everything.
Everything. If the guy's worth $200 million, right? And also the other one is Oprah Winfrey. Look, at the end of the day, she's a poor black girl that society says is not attractive. Been abused, right? Been abused. Was not supposed to even come close to winning. Not even. She wasn't even supposed to be in the game, right? Honestly,
absolutely.
By 17, she was supposed to be dead, or right?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. A poor girl from Mississippi, not even supposed to be in the game of life, is now dominating the game of life.
She became the standard.
She's dominant. She not competing. She dominates the game of life. Right?
Follow me.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And we all, come to this point at some point in our life.
Hopefully.
Right. Well, here's the part that I believe everyone does. I think the difference between the person, say like an Oprah Winfrey or George Foreman, and everyone else is that they acted on it. Action, baby.
Right.
Right. Because we feel it.
You're so.
We see it in our minds. We dream about it. But then here comes fear.
Yes.
Right.
The fear barrier.
Oh.
Right? And what is action? Action is fear's kryptonite. Action is fear's kryptonite. Right?
You just do it.
And I just said this on a podcast I was on earlier, and I so firmly believe this, that when people are taking the action, it becomes magical. The people and the circumstances come in. But understand that darkness is only temporary as long as you're moving forward. The only time it becomes permanent is when you go back into safety.
That's right.
Right? So you're taking the action. So now, how long were you in the Navy?
4 years.
4 years. Now you get out of the Navy. What's up now?
Get out of the Navy. This is when I begin to discover myself.
Now, let me ask you this. Just curious. What made you not re-sign up? You were just ready to roll?
Well, I actually got this really great offer from the Navy. They offered me the LDO program where I can, go. They offered me any school I wanted to go to, Ivy League or otherwise. I would go into the academy and I would come out, an officer 01, and I'd be. Hindsight's 2020. I might have looked at it a little bit differently today than I did then. But of course, I knew they wanted something in return. So I'm like, okay, what's something you guys want?
Right. There's no free lunch.
No, not with these guys, right? So they asked me to go to Somalia with them. I said, no, there's no freaking way I'm going over there with you. Those guys are crazy, right? You think these people in Iraq and Kuwait and so forth are crazy? These folks are out of their minds, okay? And there was no way in hell I was going to go over there.
There's no offset here, brother.
Yeah, and the chances are basically zero that I would have gotten caught into this experience. But it was the same campaign where those two Black Hawk helicopters got.
It's hell on earth.
Yeah, it was
right.
The same,
Look,
same campaign.
Let's face it. It's hell on earth.
Yeah, I thought so. At that time, I thought my chances were greater, on my own than it would have been.
You're ready to go. And are you glad you made that choice?
I absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So now you're in college.
Right. I go to school. Well, actually, I was doing sales for a long time.
Okay.
Right. So
what type of sales?
Times, all kinds of stuff. MLM. I was selling. Coupons.
Man, my man.
Right.
Me too, brother. Me too.
If it can make money,
I was selling the fake perfume.
I'm selling it. Right.
I was doing it. Yeah.
So we had good times. Bad times. I had different jobs. I was kind of bouncing around between jobs and stuff at the same time, and so my wife, she said, Rob, you're really good at this electronic stuff. Why don't you, go and look for,
So you it just came natural to you.
Yeah, it just came natural. Even when I was a
Yeah.
kid, you know, I was
Yeah.
taking radios apart and
Yeah,
putting
just
big
your thing.
speakers on them, trying to make robots out of them, you know, because
Yeah.
there was Robotech
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Transformers
yes,
and
yes.
Voltron. Voltron, baby, right? So,
So she
I
saw,
was always
she
geeked out.
kind of saw you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I liked it as a hobby, but I really didn't enjoy doing it, you know, in the way
Okay,
of earning
okay.
cash, right? So she finally, you know, talked some logic into me, and I went ahead and went to school for engineering.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they,
Wow.
well, at first I was just walking into places, you know, the old
Yeah.
school, right?
Yeah.
You walk in,
Say
hey,
hello.
I know how to do this,
Yeah.
you know, try me out for
Yeah.
a couple of days.
See what
I
you
know
do.
you're gonna like me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some money and
Right.
we'll get it going. Oh, do you have some papers? You know, a degree or a certification? I'm
Right.
like, for what? I was like, look, why?
I know.
Right?
I know.
If I know how to, you know, turn the freaking wrench, then
Right.
what do I need to pay money to, you know, tell
Exactly.
you I learn how to pay a wrench? I can show you I can turn a
I
wrench,
know.
right? But I couldn't get around, you know, I couldn't get around it.
Society's
Yeah, it changed.
so focused on
Yeah,
that.
so
So
I
you
went
went to
ahead and
school?
went to school for engineering.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
You did?
Oh, I was a programmer already, you know, so, and a science junkie, you know, so
Yeah.
forth, right? So once I understood how the programming made the hardware work, I was like, oh, I got it. I was like Neo in the Matrix at that
This was just
at that
your world,
moment.
huh?
Yeah,
You were just, I mean, I could see it.
I was set.
I mean, you lit up like a Christmas tree.
Right.
You were like, this is my world.
Right, so now I was doing all these, you know, these different things, but even still, I mean, I still didn't work in the field too much. Well, when I got out of school, I did my search from UCSD and National University for Microsoft, you know, A+, Cisco, and all that stuff, and I attempted, you know, to get into the field, and I got into some jobs, you know, here and there, like Remick and Sony and Hewlett Packard, but it was right around the time that the internet was kind of coming into its own, you know. So with e-commerce and
Things
so
were just
forth,
changing, huh?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very volatile at the time. So you know, folks were getting laid off left and
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I kind of went through that. You know, I even blew a couple of jobs,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
so forth. So after I got laid off the last one, I was just like, hey, you know what? I don't like the insecurity of not knowing, you know, if I'm going to be around one day or the next.
So that is
I went on my own.
That's how this all started.
Actually,
CanDo Electronics.
Actually, no.
Oh.
I had a web design business for a little while. I was a financial planner. I was really into investments. You know, I had a couple of rich buddies of mine that said, hey, you know, you want longevity, you want really great prosperity, you got to know how to invest.
Oh.
You know, you got to know how to manage debt.
Wow.
And so forth.
So how long ago was this?
This was back in, I started financial planning back in 2000.
Oh, wow.
Did that for a couple of years, and I was, you know, collecting debt for a little while, and I was originating loans in real estate.
Okay.
And of course, you know, 2008 came around.
The hammer. The hammer.
Right.
Changed the world, man.
Changed the world.
So what'd you do?
Changed my life. Well, I was doing some investment real estate.
Okay.
At the time, you know, and I was buying, selling houses, you know, like in Indiana, you know, and so forth, and getting really good at it. And then me and my wife separated, boom, and then that's when everything shut down. You know? So literally, out of survival, I created CanDo Electronics.
Oh, so did you lose everything?
Yeah, we lost everything.
You lost everything.
Everything. So I said, okay, I need to eat.
Wow.
We need to keep the shit, you know,
Right.
going here because we got holes in it.
Right.
It's sinking fast.
Right.
You know, so what are we going to do about this?
And you go back to that old conditioning back in the neighborhood, right, where it's survival,
Right.
But that's something that not everyone can pull from
No.
because they didn't have that.
Right. I thought
See,
about
right?
I thought
That
about
struggle.
what I had.
Struggle equals
Right.
strength.
I said I got
Yeah.
some skills.
Yeah.
I got some talents.
Yeah.
Right. And I just thought about what one of my mentors had shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that I do all the time, no matter whether I get paid or not, and I never fail? You know, I said, okay, this is my ticket.
This was it.
Right. That's right. Electronics. I got this nailed. I can do this sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
just so a part of your world.
right. And I knew I was like one of the top guys in the valley. You know, it's the other two guys that are tops in the valley. I consider they congregate with me at church. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I got this,
Right, right.
you know. So I was like, hey, let's just get it going, get it rolling.
Now, when did you open up?
2012.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes, next month will be year 4, baby.
Man,
right?
So how are things?
Things are good.
Good.
You know, well, I mean, I'm here with you, right?
Right?
You know,
Dennis, the
right?
yes place, we're going to talk about that.
Wow, you know, so, and it took a while,
Oh, yeah.
you know, for that to come around. All of this really, the success really kicked in, I would say, the last 8 months.
Okay,
last 8 or 9
so
months.
that's what I want you to share with people, right? This overnight success that we see on the internet is bullshit.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it
just,
doesn't happen.
it's smoke and mirrors.
Right.
Right? So,
don't believe it, guys.
right?
Yeah.
And if you do, you're in for a rude awakening.
You
So,
are.
so share with them. So you just said, you know, it wasn't easy. This didn't happen overnight. So
No,
what
it
are some of
didn't.
the obstacles? What are some of the fear barriers you had to conquer to get to where you're at?
The number one fear was my mind.
Okay.
That was it right there. After you've had some breakdowns, right? Some failures, you know, I wasn't with my family,
Yeah.
you know, at the time, you
Yeah.
know, and such, you know, it starts, your self-image gets tainted.
Right.
You begin to think about
It
yourself.
weakens.
Yeah, it weakens you, and you're like, man, you know, are you a loser? You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah, you question yourself,
yeah,
right?
You do, and then you know, you of course, you're generating this energy whether you know it or not, and next thing you know, you're attracting situations and people and stuff like that to confirm what you were thinking.
And telling
Yes.
yourself,
Yeah,
that
and telling
self-talk.
Exactly.
How important is that?
It's the golden.
I call it the game changer.
It is.
The game
Because even if you're going through something,
Right?
right? Just know you're just going through something. You're on a journey, and this is what I had to keep in mind.
Okay.
You know, I'm on a journey to prosperity.
Okay.
You know, to knowing myself.
Right.
You know, to being a better man. You know, and living my dreams and desires.
Okay.
You know, and it's a process. You know, so as long as I stay with the process,
Okay.
you know, I will get to my destination. You know,
Okay.
just as you drive in your car at night, you know,
Yeah.
you see as far as the headlights do, but you don't panic and say, well, I can't see all
Yeah.
the way to the horizon.
Isn't that the truth? That's
Right.
a great, that's an awesome analogy, right? Because it's, well, like Dr. Martin Luther King said, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You only have to see that next step.
That's
and,
it.
and the headlight analogy, I love that because I remember Jack Canfield told me that if you're going to drive from LA to New York at night, right?
Done that.
Right? At night, your headlights aren't going to show you New York. They're not going to show you Manhattan
Sure.
until you get there.
Until
But they're going to
you're
show
there.
you 20 feet ahead,
Exactly.
right? Then 20
And
feet
you just keep
ahead,
moving.
right?
You just keep
That's, I
moving.
love that analogy, man.
Right?
Yeah.
There's warning signs, things like that.
Yes.
Road construction.
Right?
Hey, life is the same way.
Yes.
Hey, you see those people over there?
Yeah.
Avoid them.
Yeah.
Right? And in other words, when you're in that place, you gotta, you know, though I was saying that I was attracting
Sure.
these stuff
Yeah.
because of what I was thinking, I was very acute to it, thank God, because I realized that, hey, you know what, I need to change my environment.
Yes.
You know, if I'm gonna get myself out of this,
Yes.
you know, I gotta have the right people in play.
So
To do
what
that.
you know what I love about that is a lot of people say, oh, the Monster Motivator, you never have a bad day. But it's not about that. See, it's about having the level of awareness to get yourself out of that funk
Right.
quicker than you did before, just because you created that wisdom and that level of awareness that you said, there's a red flag dinging in your head
Oh,
going,
yeah.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait
This
a minute.
gotta
We need to,
stop.
who we surround ourselves with, right?
Absolutely.
And what you think about, I say this all the time, is quantum physics tells us this, right? What you think about comes about. Thoughts are things. It's not the pink elephant, the
No.
unicorn and the Easter bunny. This
Exactly.
is real stuff.
And folks, you can't foo-foo this away.
Oh, I love it.
You can't. It works like gravity.
Yes.
Okay, here's the proof, right? We got this right here. Okay, in life, you know, good person, evil person, right? Doesn't matter. Jump,
It's going to drop.
jump.
Right.
What's going to happen? You're going to go splat.
Yep.
Right. These principles function
Are
the
real.
exact same way.
They are real.
The science behind it, hey, don't
Another
understand
example
it clearly.
is back in the day, or years ago, when they had that big tsunami.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
they realized that 2 weeks prior to that tsunami, almost all the wildlife got out of there, right?
Birds flying.
And they're going, look at these humans, man. They're sitting on the beach like nothing's going to happen because we're so out of tune.
Yeah.
But it's energy, right?
It's all
energy.
energy.
That's why a dog can, when it's trained, right, can tell you when you're going to have an epileptic, a seizure,
Sure.
right? They'll lay on you if they're trained that way because the energy, they feel
Absolutely.
it coming
They feel
on
it.
before we do because we're so out of tune.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's why, with our image, it's
Yes.
so important. And, our image is knowing ourselves.
Yes.
Once
Yes.
you know about you,
Yes.
okay, when situations come, hopefully they won't. But, life is life.
It's real.
But when they come, you know who you are, you know what you're able to do, you know what you need to do in order to, solve that problem.
Get
or
out of
get
that,
out of
whatever that is.
situation,
Yes.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you always come out better than what you were when it came
It's
into your
like, I call it life's boot camp.
Exactly.
Life's saying, what do you got?
Right.
What do you got?
Right.
What are you made of?
Yeah, and if you're a dreamer or a visionary, hey, guess what, guys? You're gonna be faced with challenges. Period.
Right.
Right? Because what you're doing is good.
Yeah.
So in order for the universe to even stay balanced, it's got to be a challenge.
It's coming at you because you have to become that person.
You have to become
right. Now let me touch on this. We're talking now. We're going to kind of anchor more into business a little bit, but everything that we share relates to personal and professional. But I'm a big believer that when I start a company or I get involved in a company or business anyway, I always want to reverse engineer. So I want to identify, enhance my weaknesses, and then I can run with my strengths. So we get into business together. You're the back end guy, right? You're the guy that can keep all the pieces moving, right?
That's what I do.
Right. I'm lost back there. Just let me run in the front, right?
Exactly.
Bring the business in or whatever that is.
Make sure that
right?
you can get that done as efficiently as possible.
Right.
And at the highest profit margin that you could possibly get.
And the reason that's so important is if we're both similar, we're not bringing enough value to each other. But when we're the opposite, right? We are bringing, right? So figure out what your weaknesses are, right? Identify them, enhance them with the people, and then run with your strengths. That's why I think so many people, especially entrepreneurs, small business owners, they think that they have to do it all, right? And they think they should do it all.
I'm one of those guys that thought that.
Right.
Okay, that's why.
But you're the majority.
The last 7 to 8 months have been so phenomenal.
Why? Share it.
Is though I was aware of this,
right?
Wow, since forever.
Right.
I've always been self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. I can work on my own cars. I can work on my own house. I can work on my own yard.
You had to. Right.
Right. I can defend myself.
That's what you knew. Right. Your
exactly.
conditions.
This is how I was conditioned. How my brain was wired. Right. So now I'm at this place where it's not applicable any longer. I'm looking to grow.
Right. It's taken away.
My vision has gotten bigger. Right. So my resources have to get bigger. My vision has to expand.
That is so on point. Your resources.
Absolutely.
Right. So when people say, if you say to me, right, how come your business failed? And I say, well, it's because of this, because of that. Well, if you really think about that, they're resources. So that means you just didn't enhance your enhance your resources enough.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. I'm a big believer that in order to really move forward in life through those scary times and hit those big destinations, your why has to be big enough.
It has to be huge. Without your why,
where you at?
Your why is your dream,
right?
It's your vision.
It has to be able to pull you through.
Right. You have to. I told folks, it's like, man, what keeps you going? What makes it, what gives you your drive? To tell you the truth, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Here's the choices. I either live my desires and my dreams, or I'm die.
Or you
it's
live
not
in
even,
fears.
it's not even, it's not even optional. Life isn't even worth living,
Right.
right? If I can't experience it the way I'm seeing it in my mind.
So living life on your terms.
Exactly.
Right? That's, and what I believe that's the definition of success. And what I believe the definition of happiness is fulfillment.
That's
right?
it right there in a nutshell.
And they're so intertwined.
Oh yeah, and you're literally walking around with blinders
And
on.
let me share this, right? If you're not sure how accurate that statement is, look at some of the richest people in the world and ask yourself why they're not happy. Because they're not fulfilled.
They're not fulfilled.
They're not fulfilled, right? And the people that aren't successful, because they're not living life on their terms.
Exactly.
They're so intertwined. And I always struggled for that. Whoa, happiness. We need to be happy. Okay, great. But where? Give me something else, man.
Right.
And when I started to overturn enough stones,
Oh,
I
yeah.
found out that it's fulfillment.
It is.
It's fulfillment.
And what the key to it, and this is really what changed the tide, was learning that this is a decision.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where so many of us are outreaching.
Yes.
Or waiting, or praying that it shows up, on a doorstep or in a burning bush or something.
Yes.
When it's,
Right. Burning bush.
Folks,
Right.
happiness, fulfillment, joy, abundance, good health, great relationships is a decision you make. And once you've made it, you commit to it.
Yes.
In other words, here's my definition of commitment, at least how it worked out for me. I said, hey, listen, I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I have to learn. I don't care what I have to change. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what I know, don't know, what I did yesterday or whatever. I am not going to stop until this becomes reality. That's it. I made my decision. I'm moving forward.
So I was able to get this up on the phone, right? Like we talked about.
Right on.
So we got some people jumping on. I love the live, the raw, the real, baby.
This is the stuff, man.
So here we go. Shane, that's my boy. He said, "What's up, man?"
What's up, Shane?
He's throwing a lot of guns out there. Sun's out, guns out.
That's right, baby. That's what you're doing.
Evan Williams, I think we just connected, but turned into a awesome live stream. Thank you, brother. Thank you for jumping on. Alan Dukes, that's my boy right there. Great stuff. This guy's a great guy for you to connect with.
Right on.
Alan, man, if you're still there and you're hearing me, connect with my boy Rob. You guys are gonna really enhance each other.
Can't wait to meet you.
This guy walks the walk.
That's perfect.
Scotty, what's up, brother? What's up? Yes, we can do. Yes, we can do.
Brother. Hey, I love you, man.
He sure told me that.
Thanks for the shout, right?
Evan, man, thanks so much. We appreciate that. I'm glad we were able to get some of these comments up because
This is great.
I can't read it from here. But
neither can I. I think we get.
let me ask you this. So what's going on now with the Yes Place? What do you guys got going? Because Big D, Dennis Numera, that's my boy, and he's changing the world.
He is.
He's changing the world.
Literally.
How are you in this team? How are you part of this?
Okay.
That's how we met.
That's exactly how we met. Me and Dennis, we met about 5-6 months ago.
Okay. So recent.
This is recent.
Okay.
And he was telling me about his program. I'm a fan of kids. Okay. I love kids. Okay. I would die for kids. Mm-hmm. I love kids. So he was telling me about the Yes Place, how he wanted to, help these kids, become successful entrepreneurs.
And the kids that are kind of not supposed to win.
Exactly.
Like me and you.
Like you and I,
right?
And how he wanted to, he showed me the station, and he gave me his ideas on the internet thing. I was like, hey brother, I can do that. I can get you on the internet broadcasting right now, and you can sit there in your corner of your room, and we're rocking and rolling.
You got his attention.
Yeah. He's like, okay, great. Let's make it happen. So, a couple months, well, actually about 3 or 4 months went by, and that's when I was getting it together, challenging.
Yeah. Life.
Yeah. Head game.
Right.
I'm so glad that popped up. Getting my head in the game.
Yes.
Yes. And it took me that couple of months.
And we joke about it, but they can do. They can do.
Right? Because I'm seeing the opportunities manifest before my very eyes.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh wow, let's get it together, bro. It gets no better than this.
So now you're part of the team.
Right. I engineered the radio station, Myrietta.org, SuccessRadio.org, Corona.org. Corona Radio is it's massive, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is massive, and the whole idea behind the project is to help Yes Place become a resource for every child in the world. We're working with some folks in Uganda, right now to get, Yes Place and all of their innovation centers and so forth.
So international.
Yes, this is an international phenomenon.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And in the way of the broadcasting, it's like a dream.
Right.
It is a dream. I'm living a dream. Guys think dreams don't come to reality. Hey, you're looking at it right here with my man Dave Daley, because it took a lot of focus, perseverance, discipline,
Self-talk,
hard work,
right?
And all of that. I mean, my hands. Hey, look, that's nothing to think about.
That comes second nature to you.
Yeah.
That's.
But man, the head,
right?
The talk,
and make sure make sure they understand. It's not that you're here now, right? But it is a constant work.
Yeah, every moment of your life.
It doesn't happen just, you made it, now the self-talk doesn't have to be.
No.
The weeds are still going to grow unless you pull them,
right? You talk more. It gets...
Yes. It gets...
You have to do it more, right? Because as you grow, so does your challenges.
Yes.
You never outgrow them.
No.
So when you
because
get
then it'll be over.
Yeah, like with money, for instance, you got folks, you figure like, how can you be making $1 million a year and be broke? Well, you got bigger obligations.
Yeah.
So of course, it matches accordingly.
Yeah.
Bills to your income.
Right.
There you go,
yeah.
brother.
Yeah. And you're a financial advisor, you always know that you want to stay under that threshold.
Exactly. You want to live under.
Sometimes it's easier said than done, and
right.
and life is going to discipline you.
Yeah, and in the same way, challenges, are a way a person lives above their means.
Yes.
Right? Because they're allowing themselves, to cheapen their image.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not being true to themselves.
Exactly.
So now, before we jump off, is there anything that I didn't touch on that you want to share?
Absolutely. Dave, I want to thank you.
Oh man,
bro.
Dude, it's a win-win, brother. It's a win-win every time.
I'm so honored to
my vibrations through the roof,
you,
man.
Right? Just even in being invited, you say, Rob, I have to have you on here.
And I hounded you. How many emails? Man,
Rob, come on. He did.
Right?
He hounded me, right? And I wasn't even ignoring you or anything. No.
Right? It was never like that. We just had life going.
Right, life was
going. I'm
going.
like, man, I ain't letting him go.
This is the ride,
Right, because I knew there was something that is going to connect with people, and it's real. Right? It's real.
Yeah,
I'm a kid from Compton.
When you change that mindset,
it's real.
Yeah, you start attracting those.
Yeah.
That share that with you, and if you're looking to be successful, in your life, you have to create that successful attitude. Right. It starts here. It starts when you start talking to yourself.
Right.
Hey, look, I can do this.
Right.
So okay, but it's not a race.
Right.
Everybody has their dreams and desires.
And their own time.
Exactly. And so don't worry about what your cousin's doing or your friends are doing or
this guy or that guy, whatever.
You can't be like Mike. There's one Mike.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, there's only one you.
There's one Rob.
Right.
That's it.
Find out what it is that you can love about that, right? And use it, like a lamp. You sit it on top of the dresser so it can light up the room, right? That's our light, that thing that you love about yourself. When you go into the room, you go out into the public, you go before your wife or your husband or your kids or your mother, you express that to them, and that's what they feel. Right. And that's what it's right. That's the energy. And that's what brings that closeness. That's what brings your fulfillment, your joy, your good health, your
everything.
happiness.
just happiness,
Right.
that fulfillment. I love that. Where can they find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me at CanDo Computer Repair. You just type it up in there. You'll find it really easy. Or you can come go to CanDoComputerRepair.com or give me a buzz at 951-305-0515. I'm here at the Innovation Center with my man Dave Daley almost on a daily basis. So you can come. If you have an idea, a startup business, or if you're even a seasoned entrepreneur, I would highly recommend you come down here to the Innovation Center here in Marietta, right off of Jefferson and Corning. I mean, this place is just phenomenal in the way of growing your business.
And resources, right?
The resources, baby, is
It's just
endless. It's the land of milk and honey, and this is from the top down, guys, from the heads of the city of Marietta all the way down. I've never seen better support ever.
We
in
talk
the
about
way
this.
of
This
supporting
city is
small
special.
business.
This is a special city,
You want to blow up,
right?
This is the
Right.
place to go if you want to blow up. Other
Yes.
than that, I mean, it's kind of a coin flip.
I love it.
That's really where
I
it's
love
at.
it. Yeah, and it's only getting better.
It's getting better.
It's only getting better.
That's the part that's crazy about it. It just started.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and with also too, right, with the radio program, like I said, we got Corona Radio, we have Marietta Radio, Temecula Radio, we got Santa Ana coming up, Riverside, Menifee, so forth. So if you want to blow your business up, you can come on by. We'll talk to you about doing some little sound bites with recognizing your business. If you have an online store or what have you, we can get that on the air before our audience, which is like 75,000 plus. I mean, growing. It's ridiculous. I mean, think about it, guys. You speak one time for about 5 to 10 seconds, and you just about had the whole Inland Empire hear you
And repeat.
and it repeats over and over for a year.
Awesome.
Okay, you can't beat that, guys.
Man.
We're gonna blow you up. Why? Because we love you.
Yeah, and it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win
right?
every single time.
And all of it, all of your proceeds that'll go towards getting this done for you is all to help out the Yes Place to create more successful people in our life. Because our kids, they need us bad. With the way society is going right now, these kids they locked into these Xboxes and PlayStations and psych drugs, and they just
need out.
They're destroying themselves.
They
They
pull
cry.
out.
They're crying for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
But they just they don't know where to go. Their parents don't even know where to go.
Right.
But they can come down here to the Yes Place, and
There we go. We lost it for a
you
second.
can bring them down here to the Yes Place, and they'll get hooked up.
Beautiful.
You'll love it.
Beautiful. So we're going to share this. Anybody that's getting value out of this, please share it to your people, your groups. We're going to reshare it, and Rob will be able to answer any questions. He's going to put his information on there, where we can find him. If you have any trouble getting a hold of him, I know where to find him. Just reach out to me, and we'll get it done. And guys, thanks so much for tuning in. As you know, and maybe you don't know, Monster Motivator TV, we are a mobile live stream TV show that's going to come to you, highlight business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofits that are making a difference in the Southern California area, and eventually, pretty soon, we're going to be national. We're going to go to city with the Monster Motivator Mania Tour, coming to a town near you. Coming to a town near you. So, if you know anybody, we can share their story, get a little bit behind the curtain, and share their story to help other people in the Southern California area. Please let us know. Don't be afraid to reach out. We take all these excuses away. All you have to do is go onto our online calendar and book a day that works for you, and it's going to come right to my phone. Hey guys, keep making it happen. Don't stop. Keep moving forward, and give us some feedback. Keep making it happen, guys.
Keep dreaming, guys.
Oh man.
Right on.